everybody. It's Dayna Martin, community producer of Anarchapulco. Today I'm here with Anam Paiseanta, a friend of mine and somebody who's involved in the conference this year. So Anam, you've been coming to Anarchapulco for 5 years, since the very beginning.
That's right. Every year.
Yeah. It's there's not a lot of people that have gone every single year, but you're one of them. And so you've been a really important part of the evolution of Anarchapulco and part of the fabric of it, essentially. So I'm really, really excited that you're going to be more involved this year, and you're doing a bunch of stuff for us this year. The first thing that you're doing is you're reading your children's book, 3 Friends Free, at the family camp. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I am looking so forward to meeting all the children and being able to read my children's book, 3 Friends Free, a voluntarist children's book, and seeing all their faces and seeing the reactions. Yeah.
What has been like the past reactions that you've seen from kids when you've read it to them?
You know what? It mirrors a lot of the reactions that you see in adults when they watch Braveheart for the first time. I think there's a part of us that never grows up and loves to see justice and loves the idea of freedom. And I'm sure that the kids in your family camp will have the same reaction.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it. In fact, there should be more books out there about the content of anarchism, the focus of anarchism and the movement. So what inspired you to write it originally?
That I had some children in my life that had questions about politics because of their exposure to me and various comments and opinions that I shared with them. And I made this story to kind of explain how a world could be if it was left naturally without the coercive and divisive influence of government.
That's pretty cool. So what is the basic theme of the story?
Three Friends Free is about 3 children. I'm sorry, they're not children, but they're illustrated to look like children. But there's three little guys, I'll just call them, that live in this valley, and they have a voluntary existence where they each have their own specialties and they trade voluntarily to support each other. Okay,
cool. Let's see. So you're doing that at the family camp. So we have probably, I'd say 50 to 75 kids coming. So you're going to have a pretty full room. And yeah, will you do like a book signing after and photos?
Most definitely. Okay. Yes.
I'm sure people will really want that experience after hearing the book and meeting you. So another huge, I mean, gosh, you're doing so many different things, and they're all so vast, and they're all so focused on different aspects of your life and who you are. So something else that I'm really impressed with and so blown away with is your motorcycle club. So at the event, at the advocacy stage, you're going to be having a panel with your motorcycle club. Can you tell me a little bit about how that started and what made you so passionate about bringing anarchists together in this forum?
So Voluntarist Brotherhood is going to be speaking in a panel format. And we're going to be talking about neo-tribalism and why having close-knit affinity groups is important in the future as we further progress away from government and into a free society. It's going to be more and more important to use the leverage of like minds. How we got started is I just put out a Facebook call for all the other anarchists with motorcycles to come with me on a ride. And during that ride, we could see and feel some bonds and even transformations happening. And it just kind of became obvious to us that this had to grow. There's a bond that men have over freedom naturally. And there's something similar that happens concerning motorcycles, and I'm not sure what it is. I've been a motorcycle rider for maybe 20 years, and I think that the sensation of freedom on a motorcycle, but also this political concern that we have, are very related, and that's what brings us all together, and it gives us kind of a double bond, me and my brothers in the club.
I love that. We're doing some women's circles this year at Anarchapulco again. We've done it every year for the last 3 years, and it's been hugely successful, and women love it. And I was trying to think as community producer, what could we do for men? What's something similar that men would like? And I think, I mean, not that you can go for a ride necessarily at Anarchapulco, but I love that you're bringing that tribal aspect to riding bikes together. So it's the same kind of energy of support. And so tell me, like, what do you guys do together when you hang out and you go for a ride?
Well, there's some things that I won't mention on this family-based broadcast, but we have fun.
I've
We
seen some
go.
of your pictures. I've seen some of the pictures on Instagram and some videos. So I have a little bit of an idea of what you're not wanting to share, but it's fun.
We have some adult fun. You know, we like to go fast on our motorcycles, and we do some high fives, and we do a couple swear words here and there, men stuff.
You guys look like such an awesome group of people. And if anybody listening is interested in learning more, they should contact you, I'm assuming, and connect and find out. Is there a process to become a member? Is it difficult? Like, what's the initiation like?
Basically, we invite anarchists with motorcycles to just come on rides with us. And even anarchists that don't yet have motorcycles can join our club as an associate, which is basically a club supporter. And there's some benefits that people get with that. And it's, we have a rule in the club that we have to buy any goods and services from other people in the club. And if that's not a possibility, then from another anarchist. And if that's not a possibility, then from the regular marketplace. But someone could start by being an associate. If they have a motorcycle, they may be invited on a ride. During the ride, if it seems like they kind of click with the club, then they'll be invited to maybe apprentice. And the apprentice stage is a year, at least a year, and at least 4 rides with us. And then the other people in the club may or may not invite them at that point to become a full member.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty awesome. So how many members do you have now? You guys, how long have you been together, and how many members are there?
There's 8 right now.
Okay. Wow.
And we've been together. So it's a 1-year-old club right now.
That's quite a few members where you have such a, well, I wouldn't say strict, but you do have certain things that you're looking for in members, and there is a process. And so to have 8 members in a year, that's a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to have you on the panel and to hear from all the guys and to hear what they get out of it. I think it's definitely something that's needed in the anarchist community. The name of the motorcycle club was at one time Anarchist Motorcycle Club, and you've changed the name. Mm-hmm. And do you want to share why? Because I think a lot of people can relate. I think the term anarchism has a lot of negative association with the mainstream. And so maybe you're trying to avoid that, or like, tell me more about why the name change happened.
So when we initially formed, we all being anarchists don't have any kind of negative connotation with the word anarchy or anarchism. And it actually isn't the name change wasn't so much about any kind of possible perception from the public, but it was more about wanting to not accidentally be associated with a TV show.
Oh, okay.
It was a TV show about Sons of Anarchy or something. Mm-hmm. And we have nothing to do with that. So that's what we changed the name to Voluntarist Brotherhood Motorcycle Club. And that was pretty early on.
Okay, cool. Wow. Yeah, I've seen the patches. I mean, this is like a real professional hardcore deal. I mean, this is a real motorcycle club with the patches are beautiful. Yeah. How did you find somebody to do those for you?
We kind of designed it based on some of our own concepts, our own symbolism. In fact, I've got a sticker that's kind of represents the patch, and I'll just kind of flash that for the camera there.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's beautiful. I love the design. It's so creative. Well, Anam, I think you're really filling a really important need in the community. And I love that you have so many facets to your personality and who you are. So not only are you a children's book author, mm-hmm. But you're the founder of a motorcycle club, but you also are an entrepreneur, and you inspire other anarchists to chase their dreams and to be entrepreneurs themselves. So you run a program called Prima, is that right?
That is right. And I will be doing a workshop during the time of Anarchapulco. Hopefully it's in conjunction with Anarchapulco. If not, it will be nearby. And the audience can stay tuned for more information about when that will be. They can check out my Facebook page for updates about when the workshop will be and how much it will cost and that sort of thing. But it will basically be about financial freedom and time freedom for anarchists. So many of us are struggling financially. We're concerned with political freedom, but not yet in control of our personal financial freedom and time freedom, which is really a daily experience and what dictates what kind of events like Anarchapulco they can make it to. I think that's one of the most important things, is to get anarchists stronger in those two areas. And so I'm looking forward to that.
That's great. So what does PRIMA stand for?
Paiseanta's Real Estate Mentoring for Anarchists. And the program itself is a mentorship partnership. Everyone in that's in PRIMA are being mentored by myself. And also we have a partnership. Every one of us has a partnership. So they're the 90% partner. During real estate deals, they keep 90% of any kind of profit that we make, and I take 10%, and then we go from there. To get a little further deeper into it, there's kind of a pay it forward aspect to the membership. After they do a deal or two of their own, they have to find other anarchists to teach this material to, so that they can also become time free and financially free.
That's pretty awesome. I love that you support people like that. Over the years, I've really grown to love your unique form of supporting people and empowering people. In fact, something that sticks in my mind that I remember you doing is, you live in Las Vegas part-time, right?
I do.
I remember seeing you offer to give homeless people work by holding your signs and doing other things. I think that is a really, really powerful, wonderful contribution that you're making. Are you still doing things like that?
Definitely. Having sign advertising around town for my real estate business is important. And, whenever you can find someone who's already holding a sign, they're capable of holding a sign. So I try to hire them and make their day a little bit better too. Do an equal exchange.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's so great. So I want to hear, before we close out this discussion, I want to hear what brings you back to Anarchapulco every year. Why do you keep coming? Because you're somebody who, no matter what, I know you're going to be there because you love it. People love seeing you. Like I said, you're part of the event. You're part of the fabric of the event. Our event is for the community, by the community, and you're a really powerful voice. And I'm very, very grateful you're part of the community. But what keeps you coming back to Acapulco?
I think the number one thing that has always impressed me about Anarchapulco is that feeling of belonging that you finally get. I know that as anarchists, we feel like we're swimming against the current in our daily life. And then once we land in a place like Anarchapulco and get to speak with other people who are speaking our language, and the amount of connection and how fast we can connect, it's so impressive and it's so impactful that it is something that I just wouldn't miss. And I think that the speakers have always been great every year, but also that how everybody gets together in the lobby and just talks the night away afterwards. The workshops are great. I think all the above, really, but for the most impressive thing to me is the feeling of connection that I get.
That's so great. I love that Anarchapulco has like a temporary intentional community almost. And this year, where we bought out the whole hotel, everyone on the property will be anarchists, which is really awesome. And the impromptu, just casual gatherings that take place, I think sometimes can be the most powerful. So even though we're offering a lot of things to do and a lot of kind of more organized things, I think for us anarchists, it's the authentic connection and those moments where you end up sitting talking with people for hours and you make all these new friends and you're exchanging contact info and building this amazing network. So when you leave Anarchapulco, you still have a sense of what you felt there from the connections with other people.
I completely agree.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Anam, thank you so much for coming on, and we cannot wait to have you involved and have you part of it this year. So where can people find out more about you?
Connect with me on Facebook for now. I'll be on Minds soon as I gravitate away from Facebook. But Facebook for now. And one last thing before we part ways, Dayna, I wanted to let everybody know that the motorcycle club, the Voluntarist Brotherhood, is going to have a party at our house during the event, and to either check us out on Facebook, Voluntarist Brotherhood MC, or on my personal page on Facebook, Anam Paiseanta, to find out more information about when the party is going to take place. And you can come and meet everybody in the crew and get to know us and what we're about more.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for doing that for the community. That's going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be a packed house. All right, Anna. Well, thank you so much again for coming on, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks. So everybody, stay tuned. Tickets are still on sale for Anarchapulco. We're not sold out yet. We have a few left, so jump on. And if you have any questions, feel free to email anybody. You can email me, anybody on the team. My email is dayna@anarchapulco.com. And thank you guys so much for watching today's interview. Peace, love, anarchy.
Yeah.